I'm reading John Grisham novels per my own initiative growing up 1990s 2000s. Today it's a number of years later. It's a number of decades later. It's Sunday 14 June 2026 AD, in the 1990s and 2000s were AD as well. And here I, Tanis, Shearhurst of Seattle, reflect on reading John Grisham novels per my own initiative growing up 1990s 2000s, including how I kept my interest in the author beyond a book or two. So John Grisham writes legal dramas. And legal dramas is kind of the right term. There are courtroom dramas, however, there are also like legal, like attorney at law, like The Firm is a good one, where it's not necessarily about the courtroom so much as like how an attorney agency works. I don't work in legal, so attorney agency might not be law firm. There we go. All right, the name of the book's The Firm. Okay, so I did this when I was growing up, and I watched a number of John Grisham movies, and I still have a number of John Grisham movies. And so it was one I read. I kind of settled on like my two authors I read a lot of, or were like, I wasn't necessarily the best at reading, so for me, I read a lot of them compared to like other authors, also in the sense of it wasn't like a series of books. So I did read like series of books, like young adult kind of novels, but this is different because they're not series books. So John Grisham and Clive Cussler were two I read a lot of growing up of my own choosing, and John Grisham was like really of my own choosing. I like collided with, I suppose, so if I was adopted, then my adoptive mom liked Runaway Jury, and I kind of liked stuff more broadly, and I kept my interest in the author beyond a book or two by watching film adaptations of the books, and they were consistently good. And I was like, it was a cool author because I got to learn about the legal system. I was like, yeah, it might not work exactly like this, but like to have nothing and be like, to know that like a law firm, right? To learn about law firm, or like they care, like what a briefcase could be used for, or what a legal brief is, like the super basics that are kind of like required to get right to carry the plot along. I was like, I hope like I was like learning through exposure, even if the details were like, in science fiction stuff might be tweaked or deliberately gotten wrong so that it's not so that it is science fiction. So it's a legal drama, so I'm like, so it might not be quite so dramatic in real life, but like elements here are close enough, or key parts are right enough that like they're like really big deals, and they get made into movies and that kind of stuff. But it was one where the books were good and the movies were good, and Hollywood did a good job making film adaptations of the books. And who knows, maybe my Mama Gillespie and Papa Gillespie, if I'm adopted, maybe they read a book or two to me in the womb, and so currently I'm like my own initiative. I was like, who knows, if my Mama Gillespie hadn't died in childbirth, maybe we would have been reading them together. That would have been cool. Yeah. And I'm approximately 33 years of age, and if I am adopted, I haven't ever met my Papa Gillespie, and supposedly my Mama Gillespie died in childbirth. So, and I'm unfamiliar with grief. Yeah, how's that? Or if people have a parent who dies later in life and they cry a lot and grieve a lot, do I consider them a big baby? I'm like, because I haven't done that. There's nothing wrong with being a big baby. Okay. I get concerned when a squirrel shows up with a patch of fur missing. Okay, so what makes a person a baby can vary person to person. So there we go. That's on reading John Grisham novel. Oh, and that relates to this, how? Because it takes really scary topics and really made it didn't strip it of the scary element. It stabilized it with kind of like, here's a system that's meant to control, or not control it, but like work through this stuff and how that can go wrong as well. And I was like, sometimes it's good to take a scary thing and make it even worse. It's like up and out, you're thinking about, okay, just de-escalate. And this is, he's like, the author's like, screw it. Let's go up and out, keep going forward, just make it worse until we're out. So I really liked his books, and I still watch the movies. I don't know if there are any books floating around here. Currently. So there we go. That's on reading John Grisham novels per my own initiative growing up, 1990s, 2000s.